In our last episode, we built this smeltery as part of a wider project to tear down our starter factory. And I'm honestly pretty happy with how it's turned out. However, we now need to turn all 1,440 iron ingots that we're producing into the various other iron products that are available to us. And my full intention is to use a modular approach when it comes to doing these factories, hence these 3 separate buildings. So what we're going to do in this one, this I think should be iron plates. We're going to want to have maybe a manifold along here. So if we have 270 iron ingots coming in here, we'll have 210 going on to become rods. Could do like a second row of 4 above, so that would be 8. And then if we have 1 to the side, this can just be for us to collect should we wish to. So I'll get back to you once I've done all of this. And here we are with our iron plates constructors. I will mention that we are going to be going through this quite quickly simply because we've got a lot to do in this video. I want to try and cover the whole of the starter base if possible. Also, can I just say how beautiful, well, it's disappeared now. That was beautiful. That little, I think it was a planet with asteroids around it, or maybe a moon. You can see here how I've kind of done the manifold. So we have the items going across the top first, and then they come back down to the bottom from the other end. And I've also put signs to keep me aware of how many items we have coming and going. So we have 200 going to plates here, 210 for the overflow, which are all going to go for rods next door, which I'll work on now. When it comes to the rods, I don't really want to mimic the exact same build as the one next door. So I started building these 4 here, and then I realized that it's 15 per minute. So this is going to have to be what? 14 constructors. So I think we have the 4 down here, and then we're going to do something with these facing, I think, the outside. So I'll happily tell you that we have now, oh, there you can see it. You can see it again. Look, looks great. And I love how the asteroids are just like circling around that. I think that's so cool. Nice work, Coffee Stain. But what we have here are the 5 constructors on that side, 5 on this side, and there'll be a manifold beneath it being fed from this side, along with these 4, for all of the iron rods, and then all of that will be merged and brought down to here. But until we do that, I want to just cover the, ooh, unauthorized hostility, really? Huh. I want to do the roof first so that I get a feel for how this is going to look. I'm just doing the roof here, and oh, I didn't tell you. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, I ended up doing the manifold first, which I'll show you in a moment. I still have to do the beams and also the sign lighting, but I really like that these 2 factories are the same. And I do think that I have managed to give this a kind of industrial look. I think by having the manifold underneath, it automatically makes it feel more like a factory rather than constructors running and then hiding everything. I like seeing these. And once these resources are produced, they're then brought along this manifold to the bottom, which we obviously spoke about last week, and then taken, well, currently to an awesome sink. But long term, it's going to be to a storage area, and the excess will then be sunk. With the smeltery, the plates and the rods all in full production, we're now going to move on to reinforced iron plates. We grab an assembler, we'll be able to see what kind of resources we're going to need. Unfortunately, we only have the basic recipe available to us. So if we do all of the assemblers on this floor, and then underneath we build another floor for the resources, we can then have the iron plates and the screws above there and then being brought down. So here you can see we've nicely laid out a walkway across this, and then underneath, if we just drop down here, nope, oh, I don't have anything. So the plan is that all along here, this is where we're going to be doing all of our logistics for the reinforced iron plates. And I think we will go with the normal iron plates. The other thing that we need to do is also get started on the next few floors, which will probably be about that high. I'm not gonna lie, it's finally done, but it took much longer than I thought it would. We still need to do a bit of decoration, but Let's show you what we've got. So let's start off with the downstairs. We have the 2 manifolds feeding both sides of the assemblers. And then we have these little like clean rooms almost where the reinforced iron plates come from. The items are taken up here and then sent back down. This is really just so that we can see the items being produced. And then if we run along here, you can see all the 480 iron ingots head up the side to this floor where we're producing the iron rods. And then if we head up here, this is where we're producing the iron screws. And then on this floor, we have the iron plates, which are being fed by the smelt. We're bringing iron ingots into here, not iron ore. I mean, this looked really nice. Right, I'll fix all of this. We removed all of the smelters and then just along the top, I kind of liked the look of this. So we have kept this elevator manifold. You can see here we're getting all the iron ingots. The screws are coming down the left and the plates are coming down the right, where they're feeding into this little area. You can see I've cleaned it all up a little bit. But the next thing that we need to do is sort out a place for the steel foundries. And for that, we're going to need a lot more resources. So I'm going to have to bus a load back here. And as it's going to be for a steel foundry, we're going to take the coal, which you can see right at the end over there, and also the iron that's closer to us. And this is what we've got so far, with all the coal merging and then being sent along the bus. We also need to merge the iron and maybe the copper eventually onto here as well, just so that we can sort out the steel refinery, steel smelter, the steel foundry, but also the copper. I think we're going to go with pure copper ingots. Okay, well, we have bussed all of that, including the iron and the copper back to here. So it is time to build a steel foundry. The only problem is this whole space is what we've got dedicated to motors. So we're going to have quite a large build for the motors, probably here, which means we're going to have to keep the foundry pretty compact. We definitely had to expand this out a little bit further. And as you can see, we've gone with a 5x4 grid for this. The coal and the iron are going to come in from this side, and then they're going to make their way up to the next floor, which I think we could probably do that now really quickly. And we can keep it open from the front, which I think will be quite nice. I'm really happy with what we've got here with the floating manifold, but also I love the kind of glare that you get from the lights with this glass roof. So something a little bit different that we've done there. And now we're going on to build the motors. I'm hoping it's enough space because we're going to need a good 20 odd stators. So this might get quite tall. Now there is one problem with the motor build that I'm doing. And that is that I forgot that I needed steel rotors. I haven't unlocked that recipe yet. So we are going around. Oh, that doesn't work in photo mode. And we are searching for some hard drives. There's this one. There's another one all the way over. Well, there's a couple over here actually, and one up there that we need. I'm just gonna say I have terrible luck with all of these hard drives. Like, all of these are bad. Let's put the next one to the test. Whilst we're waiting for the hard drives to complete, I'm just going to build these. We've got what's going to be hopefully all of the steel rotors on the bottom floor. And then on the next floor, we'll have our stators. We've done it! We've finally unlocked it! This is the one that we wanted. The reason for that is that we now have stators and the rotors all using the same copper wire and steel ingots. I decided to only use 3 assemblers for the motors, which means we're only producing 15 per minute, which isn't a lot. But it does mean that we have a load of stators, which are now lit up from behind, which I think looks really cool. And a load of rotors all going towards the sink or the storage once we build it. But we are getting there. The only problem is that after I've sorted out these manifolds and merging lines, I'm gonna have to somehow produce that copper wire and also the steel pipes, which I haven't given enough space for yet. So unless I do something here on this side, I'm actually going to have to start demolishing this part of the factory, but I'm really not that inspired to do that just yet. I still need to use a lot more resources. And to be fair, we still have all of the copper. I mean, wire, sheets, cable, modular frames, all of that to do. And I don't think we're going to have a lot of enough resources by deleting all of this. So probably soon, maybe in the next episode, once we've got these motors done, we should focus on maybe doing a storage area for all of this stuff, and then we can start building this up further. It's probably going to be a good idea to cover up this middle section as well. Ooh, was that a hard drive unlock? Quick quest data, we don't really need that. Coated iron plates, not really that beneficial at the moment. Now this is one that we're going to be using in a future build. Recycled plastic, one of the ultimate alternate recipes that we can unlock. You know what? I think keeping that section open actually really works with this build. Really happy with it. And other than sorting out where all of these resources are going, this build is now complete. We just need to make sure that we have the resources coming, which is the next thing. Yes, we need to sort out copper. The only problem with doing copper is we needed more space. So in the end, we have gone with expanding the backside of our factory. I am super excited for this build. I've just looked in the awesome shop and unlocked some new items which are going to be available in update 6. They're currently on experimental. There's the half foundations and also, more importantly, these outer corner extensions. I'm loving them at the moment. So we're going to use them as a little bit of a, I don't know, like a border around our factory. The only problem is that we do need to somehow fit 32 refineries in this space, and though I've extended it a little bit more, I do not think we're going to manage it. We should hopefully, with a little bit of luck, have enough space just along here. How many is that? 4? I think we could probably do double. I think that we're restricted to 8 refineries per level, which would mean we're going to have to, I guess, do some overclocking and do 3 levels. I know it's not what you were expecting, but I have played around with these outer corner extensions. I do love the look of these 1 meters. And then we have this border going all the way around. Unfortunately, we cannot change these at the moment because the material for some reason changes their positioning. But going inside, we have a overhead fluid manifold, and then these are all going to be set to copper ingots and then fed from below. If we just jump over here, you can see that we've got this wonderful glass wall showing off the merging manifold here. You can see it's a little bit more detailed, but the problem is it does need to be like 3 levels in total. So this is just the first of 3. But all of the copper ingots will come out on, I think, this side. And if we go up here, you can see how we are doing the manifold for the first floor. Everything is going to be brought and split along these. And then from this side, we're going to box this all in. So you won't be able to see this. You can see it kind of started here. We'll just carry this all the way around. We'll delete the outer area. And then down here, we're going to be doing the water extractors. So we'll place probably 2. I don't think we'll need more than 2 for this because each refinery only needs 10 water per input. This is still very plain, but I must admit it's moving in the right direction for me. And I love these round corner extensions. I really want to see them adding more stuff like this just for an extra bit of detail. But it just breaks it up from the normal like straight lines, and it's vanilla now, so fantastic. I was asked in stream to add a splash of color, so that's exactly what we've done with the extractors here. We've added some red, and I think it works. We have all the water running along these underground pipes, which we've talked about previously, which are then brought across over to this section. Actually, I need to show you this. We had the pipe running up through the middle, but we've then housed it with the outer corners, and I just love the way it looks. And then to add a little bit of detail, we also added those beams just at the side, which you can see. The water then comes through here and up into the refinery area, and then we also have the copper running across that manifold underneath. And then the copper ingots, well, the copper sheets will head into one of those left inputs. But we do have a problem with the ticks at the moment, so do not mind me. Is there another way that we can actually permanently remove these away? Because they just run away and I'm not one to follow. I don't really want to use mods though. I just want them to despawn from this area, please. Oh, this looks pretty cool though. I'm liking it. Let's go up there now. It's quite tight in here. So the first floor is probably the tightest. And if we go all the way up, then we have our final floor here. I do need to go and get some more power slugs though. And that means we're probably going to need more power at some point soon as well. And I'm also well aware that though we've got these massive glass windows, that this is far from being finished architecturally speaking. It looks very plain from the outside. Thankfully though, the height difference isn't too big, so it doesn't look like a sore thumb. We can still make it fit quite well within this build. It's alive! Finally, we've got this all running. You can see it running through there or just through here. I'm really happy with how this is operating. There is one issue. So if we grab the power down, this is the max consumption. This is our current consumption, and this is how much we're producing. This is not good. We're going to need to very shortly upgrade this if we want to turn on the motors at all. So we're going to finish off decorating this now, and then I think we're going to have to think about either doing power or sorting out the storage. We need storage, and the reason why I say we need storage is because I've turned all of this off. We haven't got any resources coming into here, and we're starting to run out of items. The good news is you can see that we're producing both 180 iron plates per minute and 210 iron rods, but we haven't any storage. So that would be a good thing to do, but I do think more important, it's probably to get more fuel up and running. Because if not, as soon as we turn this on, it's all going to collapse on itself. It's just going to shut down, and then we're going to be stuck in the mud. But that is most definitely a tomorrow problem. So I've just covered up that extra output there, and we've got all of the copper ingots flowing down into the undercroft where it's going to be transporting all the resources. I think it would be nice to push this all the way to the top. So I thought I'd run up here to show you what it looks like, because I think I went oh dear, I think I went over the top. Oh well. Oh, I haven't actually done that yet. That's oh, and what's that? Oh goodness me. You know when you're like so proud of something and then you realize you haven't actually finished what you were doing. But I'm actually really happy with how this is looking. It's kind of Sauron's tower-esque, kind of the jagged surfaces at the top. I definitely need to add some more beams at the bottom. Then later on, we need to do something on the bottom section, because that looks so messy. And I've added just a bit of a facade on front, which is a glass wall. Mixed with those new half foundations. Very useful. I'm going to be honest, I think this new fan design on the front of the build is going to look absolutely fantastic. But I love this kind of like cut-in detail. Something that you'll see me using a bit more in my builds, but also we can incrementally change these. So it might be really interesting to see what we can do by clipping these kind of sections together. I think I'm going to leave this one flat. And you can see here we have this outcrop, which is just for decoration, but I really like it. Really loving these new pieces. I'm only going to discover more ideas as we play around more. But we are going to leave it there. I'm quite liking this design. We could possibly work on this a little bit more later on, but for now, I'm pretty content. We need to either work on fuel or storage next. That's the next big thing for us. But do let me know what you think of this build in the comments below. Special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters, most notably our TotalXclipse patrons, Cerebral Tag, James Irwin and Firefless, as well as our Lunars, The Calamity, Dixie Chris and Ben, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Adam the Useless. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.